Okay, now we are going to recap what you've been learning through the concepts and terminology in Objective 2.05. So to start with, we're going to walk you through applying those concepts and terminology that you just learned about with our vending machine scenario that you saw earlier at the beginning of this objective.
Now let's talk about some of those programming concepts that your instructor discussed with you in your class. So let's take our vending machine analogy and talk about how it relates to computer programming. So let's think of our vending machine as a container in its whole. Let's talk about the items that are in this vending machine. If we look at all the items in our vending machine, this is what we call an array. Think of your array as a big table or a checkerboard. When we talk about a vector, let's talk about each line of items. Each line has a letter and a number that coordinates the item that you choose to choose. As it pertains to objects in programming, think of the objects as whether you want chips, whether you want cookies, whether you want candy. We talk about constant, each item and object has a set price. And when we talk about variables, our variables are the different items specifically that are in our vending machine. When we talk about objects in our program, let's look at our vending machine once again. Each object has its own property, attribute, and method. The property includes when I take or select the item, the inventory changes. Also, the cost of our items can be categorized as a property. When we talk about attributes, you will notice that everything in a vending machine has its own packaging, as well as its own shape. When we talk about the method, when I decide what I want out of the vending machine, the arm turns and the object falls from its position. The last thing we'll talk about is the actual function that a vending machine uses. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually select the item, I'm going to purchase it, you're going to see the item fall down, and we're going to complete the function by me taking out the item. So the first thing in our purchase function is what we're going to do is we're going to pay for the item. Then we're going to make a selection of one of the objects in the vending machine. Now watch as the arm turns, the item falls, and to complete our function, we reach in and we have our selection, which is also our output.
Okay, now that you've seen the vending machine scenario with applying programming concepts, look around you and just think about what you do every day and what you encounter every day and see what you can come up with and ways that you can come up with in applying your programming concepts to those.